In the last class, we have solved one problem on orthographic projection where we had seen how to plan the sheet depending on the views asked in the problem. In today's class, let us solve one more problem, and you can see the diagram here. While solving this problem, you need to plan in such a way that you need to write the front view in the left top corner of the sheet. Okay, now first let us analyze the problem here. So in this problem, you can see that the bottom is a prism, it's a rectangular prism, and there is a V channel cut out in that, and then above that you have some extra protruded portion. So we need to draw this. First, observe all the dimensions. So once we observe all the dimensions, then we need to draw the orthographic projection of that. So the ISO is given in the problem. Now we need to start the orthographic projection. So to start with, always we need to start with the front view, and as I said, for this problem we need to write the left side view, and that should be on the right side of the front view. So I'll start with the front view here. So here we have drawn the front, top as well as the left side view on the board. So first we'll start with the front view. In the case of front view, first I'll draw this rectangle. So the base of the object, that is a rectangle, and it is a rectangle of 5 millimeter by 32 millimeter. Okay, I'll construct this. Again, whenever you are constructing, first everything should be with thin lines. After you have completed the entire view, then you have to darken it. So first I'll construct this 75 by 32 millimeter rectangle, and above that, here you can see that you have an extra portion which, when you look from the front, appears as a rectangle. The width of that is 24 millimeter, and the height is not given, but the height from the base is given as 45 millimeter. So for that, what we have to do is, from base you need to measure 45 millimeter and you need to draw a horizontal line, and then extend this line, and from this line, taking this as reference, draw another line which is parallel to this at a distance of 24 millimeter. That completes this portion. And if you look at the diagram, if you look at the isometric diagram here, there is a V notch or V channel cut out for a length of 36 millimeter. And to draw this, when we are looking from the front, the apex of the V channel will not be visible. So that should be shown with dotted lines. The lines should be thick, but that should be in the form of dotted lines because they are not visible when I am looking from the front. In the other two views, they are visible. So whenever we are constructing that channel, then we use solid lines. But here, since it is not visible in the front view, we have to use the dotted lines. So here, what I have done is, I have measured the dimension from the top is 16 millimeter. So I have measured 16 millimeter here. I have drawn a construction line, and then I have made it a dotted line here. So I'll measure 16 mm from the top and I'll draw a horizontal line, and I know that the channel ends at a distance of 36 millimeter from this end. So I'll measure 36 millimeter and I'll draw one more construction line here. Now we have completed all the construction. Now we need to darken the edges, and if it is a visible edge, then we need to use solid line. If it is an invisible edge, then we need to use dotted line. So I'll start with the outermost boundary. The entire outermost boundary will be visible. So I'll darken all these lines, and here, from here to here, we have an edge which is visible. So I'll extend this line. Now this channel which is present here is invisible. So I'll use dotted lines to show the invisible edges which is present in the front view. After that, I'll show all the major dimensions here. So this height is 32. I have shown here this thickness is 24 millimeter. Again, I have shown that here. The total height I have shown in the side view, so I have not shown it here. Then from here to here it is 75 millimeter, which is shown here, and from here till here, the end of channel, it is 36 millimeter, which is shown here. This completes the front view. Now we need to draw the top view again, as we had done in the previous class. Now let us draw the top view. So to draw the top view, what I'll do is I'll project all the vertical edges from the front view below that. So here I have 4 projection lines. So once I have drawn all the 4 projection lines, then what I'll do is at a convenient distance I'll draw a horizontal line. So that will be the reference line for the top view. From there we will start our top view construction. So now when you are looking this object from the top, you can see that it appears to be a rectangle of 75 millimeter by 50 millimeter. We have 75 millimeter here, so we need to move down by 50 millimeter. So I'll construct this rectangle of 75 by 50 millimeter. Once I have done that, now I have 2 more features to be written in the top view. One is the channel and the other one is the extra portion which is present above the base. So here I'll start with the extra portion, and I know that it has a thickness of 24 millimeter. So instead of measuring 24 millimeter again, what I have done is I have projected this from the front view. So from the front view I have drawn a projection line here. So I'll take that as the reference for the extreme edge of the top portion. So now this dimension is given. From this edge, the top section ends at a distance of 10 millimeter. So from here I'll measure 10 millimeter and then I'll draw a construction line. And then I know that the flat edge of the top section has a dimension of 24 millimeter. From here I'll measure 24 millimeter and I'll draw a horizontal construction line. So this completes the top portion. Now I need to draw the V channel. If you observe the V channel, you can see that the apex is exactly at the mid portion of the object, of the base. Or if you look at the base, the channel is symmetric in nature. So because of that, what I will do is, from these 2 extreme ends which are at a distance of 50 millimeter, I will measure 25 millimeter, and from there I will draw a construction line, and I will end that construction line for the projection line which we have drawn from the end of the channel in the front view. From here I have drawn a projection line, so I will end the construction line there. So that marks the apex line of the channel. Now we need to draw the 2 edges at the top, and so here you can see that the top flat surfaces on both sides are 6 mm. So I will measure 6 mm from the bottom and as well as from the top line, and then I will draw 2 more construction lines. So this completes the construction of the top view. Now we need to darken all the edges. If it is a visible edge, we need to use solid line. If it is an invisible edge, then we need to use dotted line. So here first let us darken the outermost rectangle, which will be always visible. So I have darkened this entire thing. Now I'll go to the top, additional top portion which is present at the top of the base. So all the edges are visible from the top. So I'll darken all the edges. So we need to darken this line till here, and these 2 horizontal lines should be darkened. After that I'll go to the channel. If I look at the channel, so this here we have an edge which is visible from the top. Here we have another edge which is visible from the top, and this line represents the intersection of 2 planes. Again, wherever there is an intersection of 2 planes, there will be an edge. So from here till here there will be an edge. So, and there is a visible edge from here till here. For this 6 mm gap, there is no edge. So this entire thing is one surface, then this is one surface, and this is another surface. So here we have a visible edge. I will darken this. This completes the top view. Once you have done with the top view, you have to write the name of the view below that, and then you need to show the dimensions. So since These two dimensions are shown here itself, 24, 75 and 36 are shown in the front view itself. I am not going to show it again here. So I will just show these dimensions, that is total width, total height as 50, this height 24 and this height 10 That completes the top view. To draw the side view, what I will do is I will project all the horizontal edges from the front view to the right of the front view, because we are writing the left side view. So the left side view will be on the right profile plane. So that should be on the right side of the front view. So first what I will do is, I know that the base of the side view appears to be a rectangle of 32 mm by 50 mm. So at a convenient distance, first I will draw this. I know the base is from here till here. So between these two lines, at a convenient distance, I will draw a vertical line. So that from there, I will measure 50 and then I will draw one more line. Then I complete the rectangle of the base in the front view, in the side view. Once I am done with that, then I have two more features to be drawn in the side view. One is the top portion and the other one is the channel. So I will start with the top portion, and we have seen that in the top view, the top portion starts from a distance of 10 mm from this edge. So this edge corresponds to this. So from here I will measure 10 mm and I will draw a vertical line or construction line which meets the projection line from the top of the front view. So once I have constructed this, then I will measure 24 mm here and I will draw one more construction line. Generally construction lines are slightly thicker than projection lines. Okay, so I will draw one more line here for a distance of 24 mm. From there I will join the top left corner of the base. So they haven't given any specification for the slope, so we just have to construct it with the given constraints. So I know that from here till here it is 10 and from here till here it is 24 mm. So whatever the rest portion we have, that is for the slant edge. So from here I will join this with the help of the scale. This completes the top section. Now we need to draw the channel. To draw the channel, what I will do is, on either side I will measure 6 mm, because I know that here on either side it is at a distance of 6 mm. So I will measure 6 mm on either side and I will mark those 2 points. And what I will do is, I need to locate the apex of this channel. To locate the apex, what I have to do is, first I need to find the center of this base. So I will measure 25 mm from one of the edge and then I will draw a construction line. So once I have done that, now I know that the apex is at a distance of 16 mm from the top of the base. So from the top of the base I will measure 16 mm and I will draw another construction line. Where those two construction line meets, I have the apex of the channel. So now what I will do is, I know these 2 points which are at a distance of 6 mm from each edges. So I will join these 3 points. So that completes the construction of channel. Now I need to thicken all the visible edges. So to do that, what I will do is, first I will thicken the outside edge. All outside edges are visible. Once it is done, then I will come to the channel. Channel is visible from the side, so I will thicken it, and from here till here we have an edge which is visible, so I will thicken that, and then that completes the construction of the object in the side view. So this completes all the 3 views. We will solve the same on the sketchbook. As we have done in the previous classes, we need to start with the front view. Before starting with the front view, we need to decide where to write the front view, whether on the left side or on the right side of the sketchbook. So in this problem, we know that we need to write the left side view of the object which appears to the right of the front view. So we have to start the front view on the left top corner of the sketchbook. And I know that in the front view, the base of the front view appears to be a rectangle of 75 mm by 32 mm. So what I will do is, I will leave 1 or 2 centimeters and I'll just see the total height is 45 millimeter. So from the top I'll leave 1 centimeter, and here we have 50 millimeter. So I'll take this line to draw the base. So I can start from here or I can start from here. So now I need to draw the line for 75 millimeter. On this side again I will measure 32 millimeter and I will draw a thin line. Then I will complete this rectangle. Now I need to draw the top section. There are two additional features. One is at the top and from the base the total height is 45 millimeters. So from here I will measure 45 millimeter and I will draw a line. After that, the width of that is 24 millimeter. So I'll measure 24 millimeter and I'll draw a horizontal line here. Now I'll complete that by joining this. Make sure that the markings on the scale is coinciding with these lines. That will make the line vertical as well as parallel to the grid lines. Now we are done with this feature. Now we need to show the V channel which is not visible from the front. That should be a dotted line, and I know that the horizontal line for the V channel is at a distance of 16 millimeter from the top. So I'll measure 16 millimeter, that's here, and then I'll have to draw a horizontal line here, and that line has a length of 36 millimeter. This completes that line. Now I need to mark all the visible edges with solid thick line and then invisible edges with dotted thick line. So the outermost edges are always visible. Now here we have hidden lines. So this completes the construction of the front view. Now we need to show the dimensions. Now we are done with the front view. So I'll write the name here. Now I need to draw the top view. For that I'll draw projection lines. I'll project all the vertical lines, vertical edges from the front view. And at a convenient distance I'll draw a horizontal line. Now from here I need to start the construction of the top view. In the top view the total height is 50 millimeter. Here I will draw one more horizontal line. So now I need to draw two additional features which are present at the top. One is the V channel and other one is the extra portion at the top. So I'll start with the extra portion at the top, and I know that from this end it is at a distance of 10 millimeter. So from here I'll count one grid box, then I'll draw a horizontal line. Now I don't have to measure this length because I have projected 24 millimeter line from the top. I also know that in the top view this slant edge starts at a distance of 24 millimeter from this height. So here I need to measure 24 millimeter. So here I will draw a horizontal line. To draw the horizontal line, make sure the markings on your scale is parallel with the grid lines. So that will give us a proper horizontal line. So this is the flat face and this is the slant face. Now we have done with this. Now we need to draw the channel. We need to draw this V channel. So I know that on either side we need to leave 6 millimeters. So I'll measure 6 millimeter on either side, and then I'll draw horizontal lines till it meets this projection line. Now I need to show the apex of the V channel. So for that I need to locate the center of this. It is here, 25 mm from either side. Again, by counting the grid boxes we can directly write that. Now I am done with the basic construction of the top view. Now I need to highlight or darken all the edges. So from here till here, here we have two vertical lines. Now I have marked all the outer visible edges. Now I need to show the features which are present here. From here we have a visible edge. Here we have a visible edge. Here at the start of the V groove we have a visible edge. And at the center we have the apex of the V channel. Now this completes the construction in top view. Now we need to show the dimensions. Now we are done with the top view. Now we need to draw the side view. To draw the side view, what I'll do is I'll project all the horizontal lines from the front view to the right side of the front view, because we are drawing the left side view. Now I'll leave some space between the front and the side view, and then I'll draw a vertical line here. I'll draw this vertical line only till the base height, and I know that the width should be 50 millimeter. So I'll measure 50 millimeter and then I'll draw a horizontal line. Then I'll complete this. So this is the base. Now we need to draw the top section. So for that I know that it starts after 10 millimeters. So I'll count one box and I'll draw a vertical line here. And then I need to measure 24 millimeter. So here it is 24 millimeter from here till here. So I'll measure 24 millimeter. Then I'll draw a line. From this line, the slant edge starts, and that will be till the end of this. Now we are done with this. Now we need to draw the V channel. Again for that, 16 millimeter from the top, I'll just project this. And I need to leave 6 millimeter on either side. I'll measure 6 millimeter from here, and I'll measure 6 millimeter from the other end, which is here, and I'll mark a point. 6 millimeter from here, I'll mark a point, and 6 millimeter from this end, I'll mark another. Once we are done with this, now I need to find the apex. I know that apex is at the center, so I'll measure 25 millimeter on this line. Now I'll join this. Now we have created the V channel. Now the basic construction is complete. We need to start with darkening the lines. Now I'll darken the visible edges. Always the outermost edges are visible. Now the construction is complete in the top view. Now we need to show the dimensions. We'll show this dimension. This height is 16 millimeter. Now we are done with the construction. I'll just write this as this completes the construction on your sketchbook.